Good morning, my dear grade 4 learners. Welcome to the new normal of learning. The TVRBI Bamboo Telescuela, your school on air live at BWDY-AM, CMD Cable, and we are also live streaming at the school's division of Cauayan City Facebook page. I am teacher Annalyn G. Modelo from Santa Maria Elementary School, Schools Division of Cauayan City, your science teacher in grade 4. Today, I am inviting you for another 30 minutes of fun and adventure to the wonderful world of science. Join me in exploring the changes in the properties of materials when mixed with other materials and describe what will happen to the solid material when mixed with other solid materials. As you join me in today's session, you will encounter different activities that will guide you in looking for the answers to your questions. This will sharpen your abilities to observe, classify, compare, analyze, interpret, conclude, and generalize scientific information. So, what are you waiting for? You grab your modules, your paper, and your pen, and find a comfortable place enough for you to be able to focus and learn on our discussion for today. Are you ready? After going through this lesson, you are expected to describe the changes in the properties of the materials when mixed with other materials and describe what will happen to the solid materials when mixed with other solid materials. Last week, you have learned that when the materials are heated, they change their size, shape, and texture. When heated, some solid materials are changed to liquid. When cooled, some liquid materials are changed to solid. The materials like crayons, chocolate, butter, or margarine change their form from solid to liquid when heated. They also change their size, shape, and texture. The crayons, chocolates, butter, or margarine change their form from liquid to solid when cooled. They also change their size, shape, and texture. Now, let us see how much you have learned from your lesson last week by answering your previous assessment. Let us first read the directions. Read each question carefully and circle the letter of your best answer. For question number 1, what will happen to the chocolate when put in a heated frying pan? Letter A, the chocolate will become dry. B, the chocolate will melt. C, the chocolate will freeze. Or letter D, nothing will happen to the chocolate. Very good. The correct answer is letter B. The chocolate will melt if you put it in a heated frying pan. Question number 2. When crayons are blank, they melt. A, cooled. B, heated. C, dried. Or letter D, mixed. That's right. Letter B. When crayons are heated, they melt. Question number 3. When blank, the liquid materials are changed to solid. A, cooled. B, heated. C, dried. D, mixed. You are correct. When cooled, the liquid materials are changed to solid. Question number 4. Which materials melt when heated? A, candle. B, stone. C, knife. Or letter D, metal fork. Absolutely. Candles are melt when heated. For question number 5. What changes took place when solid materials melt? A, size. B, odor. C, color. Or letter D, size and shape. Yes, that's right. Size and shape will change when solid materials will melt. Well done. You've really learned a lot last week. Now, let us move on for today's lesson. As I have mentioned earlier, it is about the changes in the properties of materials when mixed with other materials. Let us first focus on the changes in the properties of solid when mixed with another solid. Let us have an activity and you need to observe carefully because afterwards we are going to answer some questions. In the activity, we need to prepare corn kernels and rice, oil and water, and a mixing bowl or any plastic container. But before we begin the activity, here are some safety reminders in doing the activity or experiment. First, you need personal protective equipment or PPE. Second, be sure that you are accompanied by an adult or your parents. And lastly, be careful in everything you do. Are you ready, children? Okay, let's now begin. Here is the procedure. First, you prepare all the materials needed. Second, using the spoon, you mix or combine all the solid materials in a mixing bowl or any plastic container. Third, combine also the liquid materials in a separate mixing bowl or plastic container. Then after mixing or combining the materials, you observe what will happen and then you record your observations. Now class, based on the activity that you have done, were you able to identify or recognize the materials after mixing? Very good. Then what are the materials you combine or mix? Correct. That's right. When two or more materials are combined, a mixture is formed. Solid materials can be mixed or combined with other solid materials. Mixed materials can be classified depending on the appearance of the resulting mixture. When a solid mixture is mixed with other solid material and each of the combined materials can be easily identified or distinguished from each other, such mixture is called heterogeneous mixture. Some solid materials, when mixed with other solid materials, cannot be distinguished from each other. If the resulting mixture look the same throughout, such mixture is called homogeneous mixture. Solid materials can be mixed or combined also with liquid materials. Some solid materials completely dissolve while others do not. Liquid materials can be mixed with other liquid materials, while some liquid materials completely mix with other liquids, but some do not. Okay, let us have another activity. You open your module on page 8 under What's More. Activity 1. What happens to the solid materials when mixed with other solid materials? Materials needed in this activity are a piece of spoon, 1 piece of mixing bowl or any plastic container, 1 tablespoon of corn, 1 tablespoon of malunggay leaves, 1 tablespoon of pebbles, and 1 tablespoon of mango beans. Again, before we begin, think first for the safety reminders in doing such activity as I have said earlier. So what are you waiting for? Let's begin. The procedures are: first, we prepare the materials needed. Then using a spoon, we mix or combine all the solid materials in a mixing bowl or any plastic container. Third, after mixing or combining the materials, you observe what happens. Then, record your observations. Now, can you identify or distinguish its solid materials in the mixture? Yes, we can identify or distinguish the materials in the mixtures combined. Then, did the resulting mixture look the same throughout? Correct. The answer is yes. When we combine solid materials to another solid materials, they will look the same throughout, for they are heterogeneous mixture. For heterogeneous mixtures are mixtures that can be easily identified or distinguished from each other. Is there any change in the property of its solid materials in the mixture? Yes, you are right. There are no changes in the property of its solid materials in the mixtures. Then what happens to the solid materials when mixed with other solid materials? Very good. Nothing changes to solid materials when you mix with other solid materials. Congratulations, my dear learners. That's all for today. I hope you learned something from our discussion. Don't forget to drop your modules on the drop box located in the designated areas in your own place. Always remember to practice the personal hygiene at all times and obey the rules to make us safe and free from COVID-19. My dear children, put this in your mind. Life is a mixture of sunshine and rain, teardrops and laughter, pleasure and pain. Just remember, there was never a cloud that the sun couldn't shine through. No one will left behind as long as we cooperate and most importantly, to develop the self-discipline. This is the end of our wonderful lesson for today. Once again, this is Teacher Annalyn saying, stay home and be safe. God bless you all. Goodbye.